Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be learning about arrays and objects. These are two new things that we haven't discussed at all, and these are JavaScript concepts, but they're applied in many other programming languages as well, like Java and Python and almost every high-level language you can think of. We have arrays and objects in them. So before we start with that, I want to have a small share some information with the project we made a few days ago. If you remember, we made the small photo blog project, and if I go to my VS Code, you can see my code here for the photo blog, and you can see all these image sources, right? So a cool thing I can show you is that what if you have some images on your laptop that you want others to see, like if you have some family photos and you want to publish it on your website, the small website here, you can make a small photo album. So what you can do is first you should have a few images that you want to publish, okay? So if I go to my File Explorer and go to downloads, you can see that I have two images here of cars, and these are the files. Suppose these are family photos instead of cars, okay? Just assume. And what I want to publish them on this website. So what I can do for that is I can go to this website called imagebb, imagebb.com. I hope you can see this. Everyone can go to this website and click on this button. It's called Start Uploading button. I click on this and I select the images I want. I want the first car image, for example. Click on Open, and then it says auto delete image, so you can specify how long you want the link to be active. If I say for 6 months, then it's going to be there for 6 months, and then it's going to automatically delete the link. So for privacy reasons, if you want to, you can do that. I press on this green button, and then it says uploading the image, and you can see it's instantly uploaded. What I have to do is I have to click on this over here. It says embed codes. I select HTML full length. You see this one? I select it and I copy it from here. If I copy this, go back to my VS Code, I'm going to comment this out, I paste it here. You can see that it's wrapped in an anchor tag. You see this anchor tag over here? Anchor tag, and then on the right as well, anchor tag. I'm just going to delete this because we don't need it. If I delete this and I reload, now you can see that this is the image I uploaded, and it's pretty cool. What if you want it to be there forever? So if you want it to be there forever, you can just if I click on start uploading, I select an image, and then it says auto delete image never, don't auto delete. So that's gonna stay there forever. And if you just joined and you missed what I'm saying, so basically, you remember this website we made a few days ago? It's called the photo blog website. Suppose instead of images from the web, you want your own images, like your family images or family photos. What you can do is first you select the photos that you want. Like I have them downloaded. In my downloads, you can see that these are the images I want. Okay, I downloaded them. Imagine they're family photos. Imagine this is a family photo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website. Website is imagebb, imgbb.com. I'm sharing it with you. I go to this website, okay? I select the images I want to upload. I select this image. I select how long I want it to be, and I can edit it here as well. I can change how the image looks. I can make it bigger, I can add description and all kinds of stuff. I select, suppose I want to delete it after 15 minutes, for example. I click on the green box. It's uploading, it's uploaded. You click on this, embed codes. Not the viewer link. I want you to select HTML full length. That's what we need. We need HTML full length, and then we copy it here. Copy this. And then I go here, back to my, VS Code file. I'll comment this out. I'm going to replace it with this. Now if I reload, you'll see that we have the car image. And if you click on it, it's going to take you to the website, like this imagebb website. But we don't want that, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the anchor tag. You can see this anchor tag over here. I remove it. I remove this. I reload. This is my website. Now it's working properly. So if you want to make a photo album for your family, like a family picture album, please try this out. It's pretty cool. And now we're going to continue with the class. So today we're going to learn about arrays and objects. So I have made a PPT for that. If you have any doubts, please ask regarding this. I'll get back to you in the end of the class. So today we're going to learn about arrays, and arrays are very important. And they're a different type of data structure. Like, remember, like 2 days ago we learned about primitive data types like string, numbers, and boolean and all that. And now we're going to learn about arrays and objects. So there are 2 different types, and they're known as non-privative data types. So you can see, we can explain arrays like this. You can see it's a box for your medicine, and every day you have to eat some specific medicine, right? Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So like that same way, arrays are data structures, and they store stuff like this in a similar way. Like, you can imagine this entire white thing as a collection to be an array, and inside of the array you have multiple elements. So you can see that there's lots of examples like songs in a playlist or a collection of levels in a game. And I'll show you the syntax for making an array. It's like this. To make an empty array, let students equal bracket, like this. That's it. So I go to my VS Code, or I go to the browser. I'll do it on the browser to keep it simple. I go here, let arr, like array1, for example, equal this. So now I have an array, and you can see if I type it out, it prints out this. It's an empty array, and it has lots of properties as well. I hope you can see that. So you can try it out inside of your own consoles. Just write this, let array1 equal to empty brackets. So after that, you create an array. Now we're gonna make an array with stuff in it. So for example, I say let colors equals red, orange, yellow. You can see the syntax here. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Let colors equals red, orange, yellow, for example. And if I write colors, you can see that this prints out. So now we have an array named colors, and it has three elements, red, orange, yellow. And if you click on this, you can see that it says 0, 1, 2. So these are indices of the array. We're going to discuss these soon. Zeroth index is red, first is orange, and second is yellow. So I'll explain what that means. Array of numbers, for example, let lottery numbers be equal to this. I hope you understand. I'm not going to write it. It's self-explanatory. This is just an array of numbers. And we can do mixed arrays as well. Like, you can see let stuff equal to true, 68 cat, null. That's also going to work. You can see all of these are different types of primitive data types. If I write let stuff so this is, I think it's a feature for JavaScript only, that you can make an array with different data types inside of it. Like in Java, I don't know if you've learned it yet, but the arrays you make, they only have one data type. Like, as far as we've learned, it's only one data type. But in this JavaScript, we can make it with different data types. You can see that the first one's a boolean, second one's null, third one's undefined, fourth one's a number, and fifth one's a string. So this is how you do it. This is how you make arrays. Arrays has a very simple syntax. You can see it's pretty simple. All we have to do is write let name of the array equals to, and then 2 brackets, square brackets. No, only square. Only square. And we're going to learn about a different data type, and that uses a different kind of bracket. That's a good doubt though. So we continue on. Next thing you need to know about arrays is that they're indexed. You can see each element has a corresponding index, and the counting starts at 0. So if you remember, a few days ago we talked about strings. If I write let name equals Shantanu, for example, this is a string, right? Name is a string. You remember how we talked about that strings are indexed as well? So like the first letter is S. If I write name dot index of, inside of this I write S, you can see it says 0, which means the first letter is 0, second one is 1. Like if I write index of H, it says 1. Like this, strings are indexed as well. Same way arrays are also indexed. So what we can do, like this is an important concept you should know, and each element in the array has its own unique index. So if I go to the first array, like I made a colors array, if I type out colors, this is the array, and we're going to learn how to access these elements. But you can see over here that it says 0 for red, 1 for orange, and 2 for yellow. So these are indexed as well, these arrays. Just look at it once, understand the concepts, and inside of these, like these are strings, right? Even these strings are indexed. So suppose I want the letter R from this. What I can do is I can write colors 0 dot index of R, you can see it says 0 over here. So if I want to find the index of R, and I'm going to show you how to do this later, but just right now, just understand that in arrays, everything's indexed, and every index is unique. All of these are unique, they're all integers over here, 0, 1, 2. So now I'm going to teach you how to access an element from an array. So I have this array over here, colors, red, orange, and yellow, and wait, what's the difference between string and array? So basically, string is a primitive data type. String is a primitive data type. Arrays are non-primitive, and arrays are a collection of items. Like strings are just anything enclosed in curly in double quotes. You can see this is a string over here, and even this is a string. Like single quotes in JavaScript, single quotes and double quotes, they're both strings. And even backtick characters. Remember we learned backtick characters. If I write this is also a string. All three of these are strings. But arrays have a very specific syntax. Like arrays, they need to have these two double square brackets, and then inside of them they need to have elements. Like if I write 12, 14, 17, hello, it can be anything. It needs to have elements though, and this is how an array looks. And if you click on this, you can see that every index, like how do we separate these elements? We use commas. You can see commas over here. If I want to separate something, I use commas. Even for the first one, if I want to separate stuff, I use commas. So every element in an array is separated using commas. And once you put a comma, you can see the element before it, right? Like before this comma, I have 12 over here. So that's why the first index is 12. I'll try to zoom in a bit. Okay, it's not working. I'm not sure how I can make this bigger. Maybe like this. If you're able to, how to type backtick characters. So basically, it's above your tab key. So above the tab, you have this thing. This is backtick. You don't need to press shift, just press that. And if you press shift, then this is what happens. This. If you press shift, then it's that squiggly thing. Yeah, Akshat, you're right. That's the backtick character. And it's next to your 1, next to the 1 symbol. Right? That's correct, Sahana. That's the backtick character. And it's a good doubt. Like we can find arrays versus strings, JavaScript, arrays versus strings. We might get answers, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you can learn about it. There's kind of websites. You can learn about them. We're going to talk about these as well later, like properties of arrays. I think this one's good. 1 second. Okay, it's not loading. I don't want to go to the website. But anyway, you can learn about the differences as well if you're curious. And we'll continue on. Yeah, so now I'm just going to show you once again like how to access elements from the array. I think I've shown it, but I'll just show it one last time because it's very important. We're going to use this. So if I make an array, I'm going to reload once. I'm going to make an array. Let nums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. If I want the first element, I'm going to write nums of 0. It's always starting from 0. This is the first element. If I want the second element, I'm going to write nums of 1. Nums of 1. So I hope this is clear. And actually I used a bad example because they're both numbers. So if I write let names, for example, this is going to be easier to understand. Suppose I have 3 names here. And if I want the first name, I'm going to write names of 0. If I want the second name, I'm going to write names of 1. Write the third name, I want names of 2. Like this, for example. So I hope this is clear. And if I type out names, and I press on this arrow, you can see that they're indexed like this as well. So 0, 1, 2. So this is very important, learning how to access arrays. I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please ask. And now we're going to learn about some array methods. Array methods: push, pop, shift, unshift. You don't have to memorize them. Like, I'll just type it in the chat. You can learn about them as well, and I'll show you. These are 4 array methods, some common ones, and then I'll show you like 5 or 7 more. Concat includes index of. You don't have to memorize them now. Like as you start coding, you're gonna remember them like, sooner or later. Reverse, slice, splice, and sort. So, like if you're ever curious, like I'll just show you how we find information about these methods. Like if I go to Google, I search for suppose I want to learn how to do sort. JavaScript sort array. You can see array the prototype to sort. This is a method, and you can see here if I run it, this is how they're sorting it, and for numbers as well, this is how they're sorting it. And you can see all kinds of information given here. I can learn about it if I want. And if I write ascending order sort in JavaScript, so you can see that all kinds of information pops up. You can see built-in function sort based on alphabetical order. You can see that major goal is to sort any element based on alphabetical order, and by default sorting it in its ascending order. So we can see this here, and we can change what we want as well. Like if I write lily rose sunflower array.sort, I'm gonna get L, R, and then S, because L comes before R. L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Yeah, so it comes before R. And if I have this here, names dot sort, like this, you can see now it's sorted. So first Basil, then Pavan, then Shantanu. So I can save this as another variable. Let sorted names equals names dot sort. And if I print out sorted names, you can see that this is printed out. And next we can look at these. Yeah, you can see over here on the left hand side, look at all these methods for arrays. Some of them we're going to discuss right now, like for example pop or push or shift or slice, like we just talked about it. I'll just show you slice for now. So this helps you return a portion of an array into a new array from start to end, and end is not included, and these starts and ends are indexes of the items. Okay, so if I have this array called animals array, you can see console.log animals.slice2. Let's see what happens. You can see the array that comes out is camel, duck, elephant. So we can see here slice 2, it means from the second index, so 0, 1, 2. So from here it's going to slice till everything, so camel, duck, and elephant. But if I write animals.slice 2, 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2 to 4, it's going to slice everything except the place you mentioned. So 2, 4, it just gives you camel and duck. You can see here. And 1, 5, so basically fifth index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that there's no such thing as the fifth index. If I go to this example, if I write names, I write names of 2, I get Shantanu, right? It's in the end. But if I write names of 3, you can see it says undefined. So if you access stuff that's not in the array, it's just going to throw undefined. It's not going to throw errors at you. If I write names of 3 equals like another name. Now if I write names again, you can see that it's changed. So if you can add stuff as well. Look at this. I added the name. If I go names of 99, now let's look at names. You can see, look at this. If I go to the array, it says 0 is Basil, 1 is Pavan, 2 is Shantanu, 3 is Vinay, and then there's 95 empty ones. You can see empty times 95, so 95 of them are empty, and then the index at 99 has John. Like you can see I skipped so many indexes. So this is a feature of JavaScript, and this is very important. If you have any doubts, please ask me now. So you can go to like anything you want. If I write names of 10,000, if I print names out, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 95 empty, and then John, and then 9,900 empty, and then hello. You can see here. It's very important. And it says it's 10,001 because basically this is the length of the array. The length is always one more than the last index. The last index we said was 10,000, so the length's going to be 10,000 plus 1, because when we say length, we're talking in human terms. So if I look at this is the first element for me. I'm going to say Basil is 1, but actually in computer programming it's 0. Like if I reload, I'm going to make a new one. If I write let names equal, I'm going to make this shorter because we're taking too much time. A, B, C, D. Okay, for example. If I write names.length, oh, sorry, there's no brackets in this. It's just like this. There's no brackets. Be careful. It's just names.length. So if I write names.length, you can see it's 4, because in human terms, when we look at this, we say that there's 4 elements: 1, 2, 3, 4. But in computer programming, this is the last element. So we start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So the last index is 3. So names of 3 is, sorry, yeah, names of 3 is D. You can see here. So I hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, please ask them. Otherwise, just type understood, or you can type no if I to this message. If you have no doubts, please type no in the chat. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's great. So this is a great concept. You guys understood pretty fast. And we can just look at a couple of what do you call it? A couple of these methods. Like one last method I'll look at is join, because join's pretty useful. So if I write names.join, you can see that now it's a string with the elements inside of it. So if I make a new one called numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And if I write nums.join, you can see now it's a string. So if I alert nums.join, for example, you can do this as well. So basically, I'm going to alert whatever this is, and it's going to compute this. Once it computes this, it's going to find this string, and then it's going to alert it on my screen. So if I do this, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this momentum's it's a extension I'm using, so don't worry about that. But it depends on the website that you're trying. So if I go to Wikipedia and do the same thing, if I go to Wikipedia and I copy this, and then I copy that other thing, you can see it says, and the wikipedia.org says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, if you were absent for yesterday's class, we covered alerts. So basically, alerts are used to give information to the user. Like if the syntax for that is alert and then a message inside of it. So I type alert hello, like this. You can see it just says hello over here. So this is important. I'll just show you these because these are the important things. It's just 5 minutes of your time. So the first one's alert. Second one is console.log. If I write console.log hello, I close the string, I type console.log hello. You can see hello's printed over here. So hello, like console.log is for printing and alert is for alerting to the user. So this is an important distinction. Alert hello there. If I do this, you can see that it's going to come out on the website. It says like this, hello there on the website. But if I do console.log, then it doesn't. It's just printed in the console. We're in the console right now. I hope you can see this. This is important. Just learn these methods. Alert, console.log, and prompt. So these are the 3 methods. You can just check them out now. And we'll continue on. Oh, yeah, you have a doubt? Okay, 1 second. I'll just find you and... Yeah, you can unmute. Okay, I think you're gonna type it out, so I'll just continue on. Next thing we can do is we can nest arrays. So if I go to this, you can see that there's a huge array over here and it has arrays nested inside of it. Okay, wait. I'll just solve your doubt quickly. You missed the comma. You can see between your elements. You can see that there's 1, 2, space 2. You have to have a comma between them because right now these are numbers, right? And each number needs to have a comma. If you don't have a comma between these two, then it's gonna assume it to be a string. So just be careful. You missed out a comma in the middle. Okay. So next we're gonna learn about nested arrays. If I go back to this place quickly, I write colors, and I make an array like this, and then I put another array inside of it, and then in here I write red, orange. Okay. Just to keep it like this. So this is one array. And inside of this, I'm going to make another array like this. Like if I make it as yellow and green. Yellow, green. So I hope you can see this. This is a colors array. Let colors equal. This is the syntax, sorry. This is the syntax. Let colors equal. And then a array, huge array. And then inside of that, 2 more arrays. So you can see red, orange, and then yellow, green. So if I enter, I write colors of 0. So now you know what's going to happen. It's going to print out this, red and orange. And if I write colors of 0, wait. Yeah, colors 0, 0. Like colors of 0 and that of 0. Then it's going to print out red. I hope you can see this. So this is the colors array. It's an array of more arrays. You can see if I write colors, you can see it says 2 arrays here. The 0th index has this array and the first index has this array. So if I click on the 0th index, and then the 0th index for that array is red and the first index is orange. For same way, click on this, it's yellow and green. So if I want green, can someone tell me how I can access green? I'll explain it one more time if no one's able to tell the answer. Does anyone know how to access green from here? It's a bit tricky, so take your time. If I have an array like this, I want to access green. You can paste this in your console, you can try it out. 1, 1, so that's correct. Correct, Madhav. So I go back, colors 1, and then 1. It's basically, this is the syntax. It's not 1, 1, it's just 1 in brackets. You can see over here. So this is the answer. So if you type this, then you're correct. And if I just type colors 1, 1 like this, then you can see it's not working. Like if I go down, it's 1, 1 means yellow, green. You can see this here. So it's not working. The correct syntax is 1 and then 1 again. Because if we console.log this, console.log colors of 1, right? For example, you can see it prints out this array, yellow and green. And now we want the 0th index from that, like the first index from that. We want this green. We just want this string green. So what we're going to do, we're going to take whatever we wrote and we're going to add an extra bracket and make it 1. And now we get green. I hope you can see this. So this is it. It's a bit important. You can just go online, search nested arrays, JavaScript, and you can learn about it if you're confused. Lots of great tools that teach you creating a nested array and then understanding how the indices work. And you can see that's how they're doing it. 3, 2, 0. Like this is the third array, like 3 of them. A triple nest. And you can try this as well, that there's flattening it, how to make it simple, how to make it look normal. And you can just learn this. I'm going to share this website, it looks good. So for yellow, it's colors 1, 0. Perfect, you're right. You're right, Akshat. Yeah, if I go here, I write colors 1, 0. I press enter, you see yellow. So you're right, that's correct. And you can just read on the website I sent later. We're going to continue on. Nested arrays are used very commonly, like for example tic-tac-toe. I have a board like this, and if I want to make a game, so I can just check which one's empty, which one's not. This is how it looks. This is a board array. Inside of that we have these things. These are what? Rows. And each of these are elements inside the row. So first, second, third, first, second, third, first, second, third. Hope you can see this. Now we're going to learn about something very important. It's called objects. So objects are collections of properties, and each property is a key value pair. So this is very important. I'm going to show you. And instead of using indexes, we use custom keys. So if I have an example for you, like suppose you go to Fitbit and you have this data, right? So we can't use arrays because all of this is different. We want it to be the same. Like if we want to store for 10 people, like everyone in the class, we want to store information. Instead of making 10 separate arrays for each one, we can just make objects. So if I go back, this is the syntax for an object. You can see const or let doesn't matter. I use let all the time. And then you can see that there's a curly bracket, and then there's two values with it separated by commas. So if I go my website, if I reload, this is inspect element. I'm gonna make an object here, okay, in front of you. Let exams equal, for example. So for example, if I have like, let's scoreboard, okay, and now I want to store the scoreboard for each person. Like if I write Shantanu, I write :10, and I comma, and I write Vinay, for example, :15, like this. So you can write anything you want. John, :4. Like, okay, wait, 1 second. Yeah, I had a glitch in my laptop. So now if I print out scoreboard, you can see it's like this. So you can see John is 4, Shantanu is 10, and Vinay is 15. And don't worry about this because this is just alphabetical. They made it alphabetical, okay? And in objects we don't have this thing. In objects we don't have indices. And this is the syntax for an object. Wait, I'll just show you syntax for object. I don't think I have the slide for that. It's like this. Object, my property, value. Second property, value. And then you can keep making like this. It's a property and then a value. I think I have it in the like this. You can see over here. Like this. Something, value. So this is a key, this is a value. That's what we call key values. These are keys. Username, upvotes, and text. All of these are keys. And these are values. Crazy Cat Lady 7 and Great Post. All of these are values. So if I go back to my this thing that I made, this, for example, I write scoreboard dot Shantanu. You can see that it's auto-completing for me. First of all, this is known as a key because I type this and then I get the value. So basically I have a key, I use it to open up and I find the value, like here. Scoreboard dot John. I get 4. You can see this. Scoreboard dot Vinay. So these are all keys. I'm opening them up. I'm finding values by using them as keys. You can see here. If I write scoreboard dot 15, it's not going to work. If I write scoreboard dot 10, you can see nothing happens. Unexpected number. It's like, what? There's nothing called 10 here. It's only able to find it using Shantanu, not using the 10 value. If I write scoreboard dot 15, it's not going to work. Unexpected number, unexpected. If I write Shantanu though, that is going to work. So I hope this is clear and very important. And one more thing you can do for objects is that you can just make them, like if you want to add another person, like if I want one more person, scoreboard dot Basil, for example. Okay, I don't have a value called Basil here, you can see. So I can just write scoreboard dot Basil. Like this doesn't exist. It says undefined. You can see over here, undefined. And I make it equal to 17. Now if I type scoreboard again, you can see that Basil is also there, and it's 17. And this is alphabetical. You can see B, J, S, V. First 17, 4, 10, 15. You can see clearly. So now I have another value called this, and if I want to update values as well, I can do that. Right, scoreboard dot Shantanu. 100 for example. Now if I print scoreboard again, you can see now it's 100. This is very important. Hope you understand this. If you have any doubts, please ask me now. This is very important. Yes, Madhav, you can type it out or you can unmute yourself. So if you want to unmute, you can raise your hand. Or you can type it out in the chat as well. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Let's check out this doubt. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Why isn't it showing in ascending order? Oh, because basically, one more thing is that since the B is not capital, it's not ascending. So I think you were absent yesterday, but we discussed something called Unicode values. So if I go online, I go to this. You go to this website. I'll share it with you 1 second. You go here. So basically you can see that every character here has a specific number. I'm going to zoom in a bit, 1 second. You can see that this letter A has a value of 41. Letter B 42. Letter C 43. Over here you can see this. But for the small b, like you have 62. So you can see 42 is less than 62. So that's why if you have a capital letter, it's going to be before the small letter. So for your example, over here you can see it's Madhav, Shikha, and then Basil. So if I go down for M is 4D. Over here you can see hexadecimal. M is 4D, and then S, LMNRS. S is 53, and then we have B 62. So that's why M is first in your example. So I hope this clears it out. It's something called Unicode. Each character has a specific value. You're welcome. So this is a good doubt. This is a great doubt he asked, and you should always be aware of this. Alright, so now you've learned about objects and arrays, and this is an example of a object. Like if you go to the Reddit, and you can see like a comment, it has lots of things. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but there's so many things inside every comment, like username, downvotes, upvotes, next score, comment text, like what's the text about, who wrote this comment, and then tags, and then all kinds of stuff. So, and this is like the small example, that there's way more examples as well. And valid keys are, all keys are valid and they're all converted to strings. All keys are converted to strings. This is important. Important thing to know. We're gonna learn it later. Yeah. So accessing data, I've already showed you. This is how you access it. There's 3 ways to do it. You can see. First way is the way I showed you. Palette.red. If I just type palette.red, I get this string over here. Second way, I can make a bracket in it. So if I type, this is for objects by the way. If I type scoreboard, open it up, I write Basil in here. You can see this is similar syntax to the arrays. In arrays we had it like this. This is array syntax. So that's why I'm not showing it to you, because I don't want you to get confused, but you can just see right now. Like you don't have to learn it. Both are equally fine, right? I can just write scoreboard.basil. I think it's easier for everyone to just use this. Use a standard one, scoreboard dot, instead of this. But if you want, you can do that as well. And the third one, what they're doing is that they're making a variable called color. Color equals yellow, and then inside of that, palette of color. So if I write, same thing I'm doing here. If I make it let person equals string here, I have to make it a string, right? If I just write it without string, it's going to throw an error at me. It's going to be like, this is not defined. So I'm going to say, okay, I want it to be a string. And now if I write scoreboard person, see, it says 17 here. Same way if I write scoreboard Basil, says 17, scoreboard.basil. So yeah, this is important. Please be careful. These are 3 ways to access it, just for letting you know information. Updating and adding properties, I've already showed this to you. This is it mainly. And we can just do a test as well, like if you want. We can do another one. Like actually, if you have any doubts, just let me know, because we've already done this twice. So if you have any doubts, you can tell us like how to update, and I'll just give you a quiz right now. Like if I have scoreboard. Okay, wait, I'll just type it a bit faster. Like this, object syntax. A 10, B 20, C 30, D 40, right? And I want to update the value for okay, now it worked. If I want to update the value for A, how do I do that? If I want A to be 50 instead of 10, whoever types it out first wins. This is a small quiz for you. This is updating. I want the value of A to be, alright, so someone's saying score A equals numbers. Let's try it. Scores. Okay, wait. First off, Control V, scores A equals 35. If I try this, you can see it says an error, uncalled reference error, A is not defined. So this is wrong. And some people are saying let A equal 15. Let's look at the second one. It says let A equal 15. Second option was let A equal 15. This is also wrong because unexpected identifier, it's not in quotes. Third one is let A equal 15. Sahana, that's correct. Oh, this is wrong too. Yeah, you can't just do it like this. This is wrong. Oh wait, yeah, because your L was capital. Sorry, Daria, your L was capital. That's why this is wrong. And for you, Sahana, you put a string and then you put it a value. So now let's look at Arahan. Let's look at his solution. His solution is the right one. We're gonna use this. This is all we have to do. And now if we type scores again, you can see it's updated. So congratulations, you got the right answer. Even Rudransh got the right answer. Scores A is equal to 15. This is how you do it. And now can someone tell me how do I add something new? If I want something called E for example. If I want this in my object, how do I do it? One more element. Okay, first one, Madhav, score bracket E equals 35. Let's try it out. It's okay, wait. First off, you meant scores, that's fine. But if I do it like this, you can see it's going to throw an error. It says E is not defined, so this is wrong. And Arahan told the right answer. It's scores.E. It's always dot. So that's why I want you guys to just use dot. So now you can, if I type out scores, you can see I have a property called E with the value of 60. So just always use dot. That's correct. Rudransh and Akshat also got it right. Use dot. Use dot. If you want to add something and if you want to update something, it's the same syntax. Just use a dot. So if I write scores.E, now I can see that it's 60. If I want to change it, I can make it, I print it out, it's updated. And if I want something new, scores.F for example equals 100, I print it out, I can see F is 100. So great job, this is a good quiz. And now one more thing I want to test is, I'm going to reload this thing first. I'm going to make a variable, I'm going to make an array called scores. Another one, this is a separate array, okay? The previous one's deleted. This is the array. Now first, who can tell me what's the second element in this array? Second element? Correct. Oh, sorry. Element with an index of 2. So you got it right. All of you are right. It's 30. Index of 2. Element with an index of 2. It's 30. So index 0, index 1, index 2. So you're all right. It's 30. And the second element, like I said it wrong. I meant index of 2. Okay. So element with index of 2. 30. So that's correct. All of you are right. And now if I want to change the value of that, if I want to change the value of this element, how can I do it? If I want to change the value of this. So now first we have to select it. Select and then we have to update. So this is first answer. Score 2. Now let's print it out. And you're correct. Congratulations. This is the right answer. So you just write the name of the array, and then you write the name of the index, and then you write the value, and there you go, you've updated it. You can see over here. And one more thing I want to do is I want to add another score. Add a score of 100. Like to the array. Like I want the last element to be 100. I want another score. Like after 60, I want another element to be 100. So I want another element to be 100. I want it to be 50, 60, 100. Score 6 equals 100. Okay, that's fast. Let's check it out. 3 people have the same answer. Let's see. Score 6 equals 100. If I print it out, if I print out scores, you can see that you're right. All of you are right. This is correct. Oh, it's not 7. It's actually 6. And this also is wrong syntax. The syntax wrong. You need to use this thing. Square brackets. This is the right answer. This is the right answer. Anything else won't work. If I make it as curly brackets, it's not going to work. This is wrong. You can see it says scores is not a function. We use curly brackets for functions. I mean, we're going to use parentheses for functions. So I'm going to teach you functions tomorrow. Functions are very interesting, very important. And this was mainly it. This were the portions for today, like just arrays and objects. And one more important thing we can do is we can have an array of objects. So this is pretty complex. Like if you have an array called shopping cart, inside of that you have objects like shopping cart array. Inside of that one object, first object has a value: product, Jenga classic, price, and quantity. Second is echo dot, price, quantity. Third is fire stick, price, and quantity. So we can just do that here. Oh, what we can do is we can just do it in VS Code. It's simpler. I go to VS Code, I click on my folder or anything, I click anywhere, I click on new file. Okay, I'm gonna make a file. I'm gonna make it test.js. So test.js. If you want a JavaScript file, you have to make .js. You have to write .js. You can see on the left, JS pops up. I write this here, and then over here I can make this. Let shopping cart equal. Over here I'm gonna make it like this for easy readability. So over here I'm gonna make objects. 3 objects. First object, name, Jenga, price, $12, quantity, 3, for example. I'm just gonna copy this. So I have some sample data here. This is just garbage data. Alright, so now I have an array of objects. Now what we want to do is we want to test it out. We want to see it on a website, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a I'm going to show it to you guys, since some of you guys were absent yesterday. So this over here, this is JavaScript. You can see test.js. This is my JavaScript file, okay? Deleting the other one, keeping it simple. Now I'm going to go to my HTML page over here. I'm going to delete everything. Remember how we make an HTML boilerplate? Just press exclamation mark, enter. Now we're in an HTML boilerplate. I want you to go to your body, make an h1 tag here. Hello, I am h1. Just write anything you want. And then the last, before your body closes, you can see over here, this part. Before your body closes, I want you to write script. So SCR. You can see this. Click the second one, script source. Source is our name of our file. So I write test.js. You can see it autocompletes for me, test.js. So now we have connected our HTML and our CSS. I mean HTML and our JavaScript. And now what I can do is I can go here and I can console the log shopping cart. And one more thing I can do is I can access this as well. Suppose just remove this for now. Right, I'll just do it like this. So I'm not going to do anything. You can see over here. So if I reload, I'm going to open up my file. Go to VS Code. You can see, click on this. Right click on this. You see copy path. Click on copy path. Go to your browser. On your URL, paste it here. This is the H1. This is the file that we made. And now for JavaScript, what we can do is we can just type shopping cart in the console here. Shopping cart. You can see it's auto completing for me. I tab, I enter, and you can see our data is here. So why is this happening? It's because we linked our HTML file to a JavaScript file over here. This is our HTML. In the last, we have a JavaScript file. Inside the JavaScript file, we're writing JavaScript. Like here, this is JavaScript. Let shopping cart equals something. And then if I go back to my console, I can now access shopping cart. So it's pretty cool, right? If I write shopping cart of 0, I can see what it is. Shopping cart 0 name Jenga. So if I want to alert this, like if you open the website, if someone opens the website, I want to alert. I want to alert what this is. So I can just write alert shopping cart 0. This is valid JavaScript. And now you'll see, if I reload this page, it says object right now. It's not working because it's not loading actually. I messed up. I'll console log it instead. It's fine. Console log. I reload. I go to my console. You can see that this is printed out. Name Jenga, price 12, object quantity 3. Can you share the link of the JS file? Oh yeah, code. Yeah, sure. This is the code. Here you go. And one more thing is that this spacing is completely optional. If I delete all the spacing, you'll see it still works. Like, it's gonna look very ugly, but it works. We're just keeping this so that our eyes understand what it is. If I keep it like this as well, it's still gonna work. It's still working. You can see here. And suppose I want to print shopping cart dot name 0 dot name. What I can do is just press Shift Alt and down arrow. Look at what I'm doing. Shift Alt down arrow. It just duplicates the line for you. Shift Alt down arrow. You can see it's duplicating. So I don't need so many. I'm just gonna keep a few. You can Control C as well. This is fine. It's just a shortcut. So I'm gonna make it like this: 0, 1, 2. Right? If I reload, Jenga, Lego, Hot Wheels. So this is how we access our data. So in the real life, our data looks pretty similar to this. We have an array. Inside of the array, we have stuff, objects, like this. I'm gonna space it out for you so it's easier to see. Yeah, so this is how our data looks. An array. Instead of that, we have objects. Very common to see this. And we can also have an object. It doesn't have to be an array. It can be an object as well. An object with objects inside of it. If I do this, if I reload, one second. I delete this, and then over here I make it like this. Then it should work. Let me see what the problem is. I'll just check if my syntax is right. Can I have nested objects? Okay, I'll just check back. For this, I'll let you know. Oh, right. So basically the way we nest it is that we give the value of it to something. Like if I write so if I'll just make it again. So I'm gonna make an object with an object inside of it. Okay, so I hope you have the previous code. It's in the chat. I have an object here, and I'm gonna have objects inside of it. I'm gonna write item 1, for example, item 1 colon, and then inside of that I can put the stuff. I can write my data. Where's my data? Like this. So this is the object syntax. Remember, we always have a key and then a value. So this is the key, item 1, and then this is the value, this object inside of it. So inside of this huge object, this shopping cart, we have key value pairs. First pair is this, item 1. This is the key, and the value of it is this. So I can just do this many times. Item 2, I make it the Lego one. This is also very common. Item 3, Hot Wheels. Okay, so now if I console log items like shopping cart, console dot log shopping cart, I reload, you can see that now it's an object of objects. So this is the main object. Inside of that there's so many objects. You can see this. object, object, object. This is how it looks. Item 1 and then some stuff. Item 2 and then some stuff. Item 3 and then some stuff. If I write shopping cart, so if I want to access the value for item 1, who can tell me? This is a quiz for you. I have an object here, and I have inside of this I have this item 1, and I want to access this. How do I access it? Access the first item from the shopping cart. For arrays it was simple, it was indexes, but for shopping carts we're going to use something different. So what do? This is the object here. I have an object. I want to access this. I want to print this out. How do I print this out? Does anyone know? You can guess, it's fine. Shopping cart.item 1, perfect. I think that's correct, completely right. Okay, I can't copy that, I'll just type it here. If I type shopping cart.item 1, just check out what happens. Shopping cart.item 1, you can see. So Arahan's right. This is how it works. This is correct syntax. Now we can see the first item. And if I want Jenga, I want to print out Jenga, how do I do that? Who can tell me that? This is kind of tricky. If you don't understand, it's fine. If you don't know the answer, I mean. I'll explain it to you. Alright, perfect. Actually that's wrong. Sorry. So we're pretty close. Like Arahan was pretty close. If I write shopping cart.item 1 Jenga, it says undefined, you can see. So because this is the value, in objects we learn key value pairs. We can only search by keys. So Daira was right. If I paste this here, now you can see Jenga pops up. So the key is name and the value is Jenga. So this is how it works. And Shift Alt down arrow. Item 1, item 2, item 3. Okay, wait, sorry, I messed it up. It has to be inside of the brackets. Inside of this I write dot item 1, yeah. It's auto completing as well. Shift Alt down arrow. Item 1, item 2, item 3. Now if I reload, you can see that all of these print out. If I just want the name, if I just want the name, I write dot name. Dot name. Dot name. If I reload, what? It's saying cannot read it of undefined. Why is that so? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I kept it outside of the brackets again. It has to be inside of the brackets. Inside of this console.log, I have to write everything. So I write dot name. So yeah, now you can see it's printing Lego, Jenga, Hot Wheels. Can you share a picture? Oh, so this is for objects. So you actually put arrays. You have to put the object curly brackets. You have an array curly bracket. Like you have the array brackets. You need to change it to change to this. Change the square brackets to the curly brackets. So this is for objects. And I'll just show you guys the difference between these two. So this is how I print out for nested objects. I'm going to copy this. Paste it here. First off, you have to change the name. That's not allowed. I make it array shopping cart, for example. I'm gonna make it an array now. Make this an array. Just type it quickly. This is an array, and we don't have key value pairs in arrays, remember? So we can just remove this, remove this, remove this. So now if I reload, if I want the names for these again, what I do is I write shopping cart. Yeah, make the square bracket dot name, and I can change the index here. So 0, 1, 2. So if I reload, now let's go to our console. They should both show the same stuff. Okay, wait, now it's saying cannot read properties of undefined. Why is that happening? Let's check it out. Me and you together. Oh, right, obviously, because I changed the name here. That's so silly. There you go. Now it's gonna work. Jenga, Lego, Hot Wheels, Jenga, Lego, Hot Wheels. So this is how it works. I'll share this file with you. and class is over. So just give me 1 minute. I'll just share this file. Just check it out, and just 1 sec, and then I'll just end the class. So I'll share this file. How do I share it? Over here. Desktop. Where is this? Right. So I sent it. Please download this. Oh, damn it! I forgot to make it a text. So whenever you're sharing stuff from VS Code, you have to make it a text first, because otherwise it's gonna look as a JavaScript file, and then your computer's gonna act really weird, because your computer's gonna be like, this could be a virus, that could be a virus. So this is the code. Test JavaScript code. And this is the text file. So open this up. Hope you can see my screen. You can see all the stuff here. This is the same code that we wrote. I just select all, Control A, Control C, and I go to my VS Code. I can make a new file, a new JavaScript file. I can paste it there, and I can just rename this as well if you want. I can rename it .javascript.js. So this is it, and that's all I wanted to show. And please check out nested objects, nested arrays, and just revise this. Thank you for joining. And you may leave if you want to. If you have any doubts, you can ask them now.
Recording stopped.
If you have any doubts, you can ask them now. The recording has stopped.
Right, so if you have any doubts, you can ask them. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.